Dear members and friends, you're receiving this video because I'm realizing that sometimes sending an email doesn't get to you in the timely manner that it should. And I realize that because we get so many, it's very difficult to stay up on all of the emails. I am dealing with that issue myself. I do hope this video finds you well, safe and free, but I have some information I would like to share with you. As many of you probably know, JBS is not a political organization per se, as in right-left politics. We are rather an issues-related organization focusing on the abuses of power by anyone at any level of government that endanger our freedoms. I know that we are living in an extremely volatile time where confusion and chaos rule the day. And there are a lot of things that we can choose to fight, but it is our job as Americans to try to get a basic understanding of as many of them as possible so that we might share the information that we possess with others. I know that there are emotional challenges with these times, and they tend to get in the way. Sadly, this morning's news will not be an exception to that norm, but it is something that I believe you will want to hear. The coronavirus has been an emotional challenge for all of us and has even done its job in further dividing good Americans as it relates to the governor, probably fosters the same division. But if we as an issues-related organization and individuals look at the issues rather than the political candidate themselves, hopefully we can see things more clearly. This brings me to the point of this video, which was used to expose what the media is not sharing with other people about what you need to know relating to our governor. This will require you to check your email and to be able to open the attachments and email letters and make calls as requested in the email. I wanted to share the letter with you for those of you that are not checking your email anytime soon. One of the letters will possess a letter. It will say, I have two incredibly important facts about Idaho and our stay-home orders that you need to know about immediately. I will make this as brief as possible, though I urge you to read this message in its entirety, as your own freedom literally depends on it. Number one, Idaho has been in a state of martial law since March 16, 2020. The term martial law is scary for everyone. The governors and political leaders know that enacting martial law is generally viewed as political suicide. Since the general population recognizes martial law as an excuse or guised by the political leader can extract totalitarian power over the people. This is why Brad Little enacted martial law in Idaho in almost total secrecy. It will never be spoken of, as it has never been mentioned in one mainstream news story, but make no mistake about it. We have been under martial law since May 16th. And the reason why is simple. Idaho state law limits the government emergency powers to a maximum of 60 days. In order to extend his tyranny over the people of Idaho beyond 60 days, he has to invoke martial law, which has no time limitation. This means that the governor's unconstitutional stay-home order would have to end automatically on May 24th, 60 days after the order was given. This is why the governor sneakily and secretly cited Idaho Code 46-601 in his newest executive order on May 16th. This is because Idaho State Code 46-601 is martial law. You can read it for yourself if you click on the link in the email. This was done so that the governor can extend his unconstitutional tyrannical orders and expand his own powers over the state. My question is to ask you if you are okay with this. If you are, take no further action. Are you okay with knowing that Brad Little has enacted martial law in the state, giving himself dictatorial power outside of the restraints of the Idaho Constitution? And do you really want this to continue? Number two, the legislature is required to convene by June 23rd. Most legislators in Idaho right now are hiding behind the false claim that there is no mechanism for them to convene a special session of the Idaho legislature. They falsely claim that only the governor can call a special session and that their lawyers have looked into the laws and determined that nothing can be done. I hope you are not ignorant enough to believe that. I hope that you will see through such cowardice. Not only does the Idaho law make provision for the convening of the legislature under the declaration of emergency like we have right now, but it actually requires it. In short, when the governor issued his executive order on May 25th, he did so citing Idaho State Code 46-601, which establishes an attack as one of the causes for declaring the state of emergency. Later in Idaho State Code 67-415, the word attack is actually legally defined as any action or series of actions taken by the enemy of the United States resulting in substantial damages or injury or political persons or property in the state, which through sabotage, bacteriological or biological means or other weapon or methods. Not only does the coronavirus crisis perfectly fit this definition, but President Trump has specifically gone on record saying this is really the worst attack we've ever had. This is the worst than Pearl Harbor. This is worse than the World Trade Center. There has never been an attack like this. By legal definition in the state of Idaho and additional confirmation from the President of the United States, the coronavirus crisis, which prompted the invocation of the emergency powers and then martial law by Governor Brad Little, was an attack and is therefore subject to the rules and protocols of Idaho Code 67-422. Remarkably, this law states plainly that the governor is supposed to call into session the Idaho State Legislature within 90 days, and that if the governor does not call this session, that the legislature shall, on the 19th day of the date of inception, 90th day, it's supposed to automatically convene. This is a requirement of the Idaho state law, and the legislature who rejects it is violating their solemn oath, rejecting their duties to serve as Idaho legislators and representatives of the people. Legislators are trying to act helpless right now as to defer any pressure or responsibility they have to act onto the governor. In short, they want to say, I am against the governor, but there's really nothing I can do. Unfortunately, that is probably not true. They have the power to end all of this during the special session that must take place according to Idaho law on June 23rd. June 23rd is 90 days after March 25th. The links are all provided in the email for you to read the laws yourself. This is black and white case. There is no ground for nuisance or legal review by lawyers who are owned by special interest groups and the like. This is the Idaho law. You and I must demand that our legislators attend these special sessions and rescind the governor's unconstitutional orders immediately. We all know that our legislators will not act and will not fulfill their solemn duties if we do not pressure them to do so. So now is the time to be able to take action. We ask you to do the following. Call your state legislators and demand that they show up to the Idaho State Capitol on June 23rd for a special session to rescind the governor's unconstitutional orders. 2. Email your 3 legislators. Number 3. Write a certified letter to send to your legislators. Number 4. Visit your legislator at home and demand that they follow the Idaho state law and attend the special session to rescind the governor's unconstitutional orders. I am pleading with you to take this simple, basic action. If you do not, the precedents will be set and the Idaho state governor can enact martial law and expand his own powers, rejecting the United States Constitution and ignoring the Idaho state Constitution in the name of an emergency without so much as a peep from the Idaho legislature, which is supposed to directly represent their constituents. Remember, it is required by Idaho law for the legislature to convene on June 23rd. If your legislators don't attend this special session, then what are you paying them to do? What is the purpose and what do they serve? Why is it okay for them to deny their legal responsibilities? Again, please see the email and please take appropriate action. If you have further questions, please feel free to call me or email me at any time. Thank you very much.